Hello, hello, and welcome to this channel, Highly Sensitive Wisdom. My name is Sanna, and today's topic is a really transcendental one. So we will be taking a deep look into our physical body. So, as I have mentioned in previous videos, we have been led to believe that our physical body is not something really important, that it's something we can just dismiss, or like even we have to feel ashamed of having needs in our physical body. And there's so much more to our physical body than meets the eye and than we have ever been led to believe. So I will be introducing to you a new book. It was published recently, previously this year, 2025. I have finished reading it recently, and I am, just super enthusiastic about this book and sharing some of the core teachings of this book. And I will also be reading a couple of passages from this book. Um, so yeah, we'll be looking into our physical body and learning things about our physical body that you may or may not be aware of, but I do believe it will be quite eye-opening. And yeah, it is truly transcendental. So if you enjoy this content, please like the video, leave your aha moments in the comment section so that we can inspire and uplift each other. And also please share this content with other people who can benefit. So thank you in advance for that. So the book that I will be introducing to you, without further ado, is Pure Human by Gregg Braden. And there is a subtitle, The Hidden Truth of Our Divinity, Power, and Destiny. So if you're not familiar with the work of Gregg Braden, he is a scientist, more specifically a geologist. He has been working tirelessly for decades, more than 3 decades, bridging science and spirituality. And he investigates a lot of different topics. He is very prolific also in sharing his findings from the research that he conducts. And yeah, he has a truly holistic, innovative approach. He doesn't stay just in one tiny box. He investigates many different topics and put the pieces together. And he is also prolific in his writing. So he has published several books, 5 of which are New York Times best-selling titles. And this is the most recent one, Pure Human. So in this book, he brings to the table a topic that is very timely because, as you have all noticed, technology is becoming more and more present in our everyday lives, and it is also becoming more and more invasive. So there are also incentives for us to accept technology into our physical bodies. And Gregg Braden shows with very solid evidence, scientific evidence, and also the findings of his investigations that, yeah, we truly need to stay pure humans. And he shows that whatever we are led to believe, that is progress. By accepting this technology into our bodies can do it better and have our physical bodies have already all those things integrated in us and can do it much better than technology ever could. So I'll start quoting, and Gregg Braden is a very spiritual person, and he also integrates, as I said, science and spirituality, and we need both. We cannot only use our rational mind. We need both, together, working together. So I will be quoting from chapter 2 of this book, Pure Human. Let's see. The chapter is called Who Are We? The Ancient Message Coded in Our DNA. So yeah, we will be looking into our DNA. That will be really fascinating and, as I said, transcendental. So I quote, look within. Is it possible that a written record, a time capsule of knowledge about our origin, revealing the most sacred trust of humankind, has survived the cycles of time, awaiting discovery since the dawn of our creation? For centuries, scholars have searched for such a time capsule within the written records and oral traditions of those who have come before us. They have searched the catacombs of remote monasteries in the Himalayan mountains and Middle Eastern deserts, and scrupulously analyzed the crumbling remains of the Dead Sea Scrolls that were transcribed from even earlier records, one letter at a time, over 2 millennia ago. The discoveries so far, while interesting, have failed to live up to the expectations of researchers. The ancient records have yet to reveal the secret of our origin. What they have revealed, however, are clues to solving the mystery, suggesting that the records preserved in the outer world around us are incomplete. They reveal only a portion of something much greater that is to be found in the world within us. From the original inscription above the entrance to Apollo's temple at Delphi and the strange script in the emerald tablets of Thoth, a controversial hermetic text said to reveal secrets of the universe, the mysterious passages recorded in the Kabbalah's ancient book of creation. There are references to a universal key that holds the long-forgotten answer, reminding us of who we are, the identity of our creator, and the origin of our species. Through an eloquence and a directness that is typical of many time-honored traditions, we're invited to know ourselves and seek within for the answers to our deepest mysteries. A new interpretation of these ancient imitations and others suggests that the key to solving the mystery of our origin and discovering our life's purpose is not waiting to be discovered in the world around us. The answer is living inside of us. And this is emphasized in the book. The answer is living inside of us. It's safely locked away within the cells of our bodies, awaiting the day that we develop the awareness and the technology to read the message. Rather than sifting through the remains of crumbling temple walls and weathered manuscripts, the answer to our deepest mystery has been with us all along, preserved as the expression of life itself. End of quote. So, isn't this powerful? So yeah, as I have been mentioned in previous videos, this is nothing new. This has been around for millennia in all kinds of spiritual traditions, that we have to look within. Our power lies within, and that we need to stop being so distracted by things in the world, the outer world. Stop being so distracted with those things, and start interesting out for what is present within us. And when I will quote the other passage speaking directly about the DNA, it will become even clearer why this is so important. And truly, the power is inside us. And that's why we are being so distracted on purpose by all kinds of means, by technology, social media, Netflix, streaming services, games, online games, all kinds of things that are there that seem to be, entertainment, or things that seem to be, nice. They keep us in our comfort zone. But what they do also, they distract us so that we don't have the time or motivation to look within. Because if we looked within and truly got to know ourselves, we we would be much more powerful. Because our power lies inside us. So I will quote another passage of this book, Pure Human by Gregg Braden. A very, very timely book. And a very timely book that is urgent to read. We need to read it now, and we need to take it seriously also. So in this chapter, there are technical details. I will not read those, but if you are interested in those, you can obviously buy the book and read it for yourself. And I definitely do recommend you buy it and you read it, and you take action on what you learn. So I will start quoting again. So again, chapter 2, who are we? And I quote, "A message for us today. Maybe whoever or whatever is responsible for our existence coded the message into ourselves for precisely this moment in our history. It's only now, when we have advanced computers, that we can map the human genome. It's only now that we can code information into and retrieve information from the cells of a living organism. It's only now, when we have CRISPR technology, that we can edit DNA and change the biology of an embryo while it is still living in the womb of its mother. And it's only now, when the world is perched on the precipice of war and widespread destruction, that we have cracked the code of life and unleashed the power of the atom in ways that can be used for good or evil applications. It's more than a simple coincidence that only now, with the convergence of these vital factors and others, that we are able to discover a message so universal that it transcends any differences we could ever use to divide us. regardless of the color of our skin, regardless of our religion, beyond the differences that we may have in sexual preference, the pronouns we prefer to describe ourselves, and the gender we identify with. The message reads exactly the same for every child, woman, and man that walks the earth today, or that ever will in our future. When we find ourselves inundated with the biases of media and politics attempting to convince us that we are hopelessly flawed, we need look no further than the 50 trillion cells in each of our own bodies to be reminded of who we are. We are God eternal within the body. The transhumanist technology that is being imposed upon us by powerful factions of our society threatens to alter our genetic essence, and in doing so, to forever alter the sacred message left with us long ago. The pure human body is a temple. We can only carry a full expression of the message in our DNA when we are pure humans, absent of synthetic materials, chemicals, and genetic edits that alter our natural genome. When we give ourselves away to the technology, in addition to eliminating the biological antenna that links us to our divinity, we are also altering and deleting the ancient message of our identity that was left within us long ago. Some of the most cherished scriptures from world religions remind us that our bodies are temples, and that it is within our physiological temples that we carry something sacred and precious in this world. When we allow ourselves to view the Christian Bible as a historic document setting religion aside, for example, in the passage from 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 16, the Apostle Paul reminds us, "Know you not that you are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you?" In chapter 6, verse 19 of the same book, Paul removes any doubt about the meaning of his statement, declaring, "Know ye not that your body is a temple of the Holy Ghost, which is in you?" While the idea of the body as a temple is commonly used as a metaphor by many people, the revelation of a direct message coded into our DNA gives new meaning to the idea of our bodies as sacred vessels. We are, in fact, biological temples. Within the Holy of Holies, that is the nucleus of each cell, we carry the sacred DNA library of knowledge and the secret of our identity. In 1991, scientists published the papers acknowledging that the fusion of our DNA and subsequent mutations, such as the occurrence of chromosome 2, was accomplished in a way that cannot happen in nature. They say the fusion that gives us our humanness is impossible under natural conditions. Chromosome 2 is only one example of such mutations that give us our human qualities. These mutations are the product of an intentional act, and this is the discovery that makes the message in ourselves so powerful. We are walking vessels of advanced biology and engineering, poised at the precipice of giving away the very gift that is cherished in our species. Perhaps our highest form of mastery is to honor and protect the vessel that carries the message of our identity, to honor the gift of our pure humanness. And quote. So this is very powerful stuff. I got so much feels when I was reading this passage of the book Pure Humans by Gregg Braden. Such a brilliant author and such an important message for today's world. And that we need to know ourselves well enough so we know what we would be giving away should we accept technology into our bodies. So if you're not familiar with Gregg Braden's work since before, because this discovery he made, it has been a number of years, so this has been published elsewhere before, God Eternal Within the Body. So I watched many videos by and with Gregg Braden, both on YouTube and also on Gaia. He hosts a wonderful program there, Missing Links, that is truly a goldmine for truth seekers. And so he explains in one of the videos, or in a few different videos that I have watched, what this message means. So he discovered in the root languages like Sanskrit, they're really ancient languages, that in all 4 root languages, the message read exactly the same. And he explains in those videos that it's like, imagine that you are an artist, right? You are creating something new, you have a piece of art, and if you're proud of your piece of art, what will you do with that art before you release it into the world, right? You will sign it with your name or your signature, so that everyone looking at your piece of art, everyone admiring your piece of art, or anyone interacting in whatever way with your piece of art, they will know who is the creator of this piece of art with a signature. So that is what the message corresponds to. God eternal within the body. That is the signature of our creator. The artist who created us we are masterpieces, living masterpieces. And our creator wanted us and everyone else to know, who is the artist creating this masterpiece. And so God left this message inside every single cell of our body. And as Gregg Braden mentioned in the book, 50 trillion cells. That's a lot of cells. Difficult to wrap our heads around how many cells that are. Very many. And every single cell contains the same signature, God eternal, within the body. So it's literally everywhere in our physical body we have the signature by God eternal within the body. And so that is the irony, that we have had this message ever since we first appeared on planet Earth so many thousands of years ago. And it's only now that we have the awareness and the technology to decode the message that has been with us all along. And that, that gives even more depth, right, to the spiritual advice of, know yourself, look within. Let's see what you can find when you look within, it's in all of our 50 trillion cells in our physical body. So we need to honor our body, take care of our body, not dismiss the needs of our body. And I did record another video about that, honoring your body. It's called Your Body is a Living Lie Detector. Honor your body. I'll drop the link below. You can watch that or rewatch that if you have already watched it. I've recorded other videos also. For instance, build yourself up with higher frequency foods. I will drop that link in the description so that you can fuel your physical body with foods that are good for you, both energetically and nutrition-wise, so that you can build yourself up with foods that actually build yourself up and that don't make things more complicated for you than they have to be. So this message is very transcendental because on the one hand, it removes any and all doubt who is our creator. And it also shows that truly our physical body is the temple of our soul and the temple of the Holy Spirit of God, as stated in the Holy Bible. So we have to be very mindful and very mindful of what we let into our body, and be very also respectful towards our body. It's not just some meat suit or just some shell or whatever, No, it's a very important instrument that we use while we are alive on planet Earth. And also in this book, Pure Human by Gregg Braden, he also explains, and shows other very solid scientific research and, evidence that in fact there are aspects within our physical bodies, and in this case the cells, that act as antennae to connect with the spiritual realms of the divine, the divinity. So we really need to honor those aspects of ourselves and really defend our physical bodies and up for our rights to remain pure humans. And I have another interpretation, which is not in the book, but I want to mention it anyway, since I work as an energy worker. And very invested also in my spirituality. So what I understand from this, if this message, God eternal within the body, that is the signature from our creator, my interpretation is that also means that is kind of the copyright logo, right? Like, this person belongs to me, says God. this person belongs to God. I created this person. I created a human. So God has the copyright on us as masterpieces or pieces of art that God created. So if we were to alter that sacred ancient message in our DNA by means of technology, for instance, then God would no longer have the exclusive copyright over us. And that would mean that we would also not have God's protection in our lives. Because, yeah, God doesn't divide glory with anyone. So, yeah, truly, God doesn't divide glory with anyone. So God is the creator. God has the copyright over us. And if we want to belong to God, we cannot mess up with that sacred message. We have to make sure it stays intact and pure and sacred as God intended. That is also how we maintain this spiritual protection from God and this direct connection with God. And yeah, I did record another video. If you want to deepen your relationship with God, I did record a video about that. I will also drop that one in the description below, so you can watch that if you haven't yet, or rewatch it for some, to refresh your memory. And we need to get out of this very tiny way of thinking, like either or thinking, like either it's material and physical or it is spiritual. Either it's something, concrete or something abstract. Either it's something physical or it's something subtle. No, it can be both, actually. And our physical bodies also act as portals to the spiritual realms. So just because it's physical doesn't mean it's worth more or less than spiritual. The physical and spiritual realms, they work together. And we need to have this holistic approach to understand that truly they work together. And you cannot call yourself spiritual and do all of the spiritual stuff like prayer and meditation and gratitude and treat others the way you want to be treated and so forth. And neglecting your physical body, that just doesn't make any sense. You need to have both. If you're a spiritual person, then you would take even more care about your physical body. You would be even more mindful to give your physical body all that he or she needs, both nutrition and rest and being kind and considerate with your body and not exposing your body to unnecessary threats or not putting too much pressure on your physical body. Make sure your physical body gets nutrition, rest, recovery, and also always speaking to your body, with loving, kind words, with loving intention, right? So that we work together as a team, right? So there are so many things that we need to learn about ourselves, and starting with our physical body, that truly, when you understand the depth of this, when you understand the depth of this message, that we are, it's not just a metaphor, it's not just a saying, it's not just a cliche. Truly, we are the temple of the Holy Spirit of God. Our physical bodies contain antennae to connect with the spiritual realms. We are portals. We are living, walking portals to the spiritual realms. And God made it so clear, leaving this signature in every single cell in the DNA of our single cell, or 50 trillion cells in our physical body. God eternal within the body. So God is literally everywhere in our physical body. There's not one cell that is left without the attention, the loving attention of our Creator. That's how present God is within us. And that's also, I'll say it again, that's also why there are so many forces in society doing everything to distract us from our essence, distracting us from ever looking inside to see what's in there. Because when we do look inside and see what's in there, we don't only get to know ourselves, we also find God. Because God is everywhere present within us. Everywhere, literally, in all the 50 trillion cells in our body, God reminds us of the divine presence within us. God eternal within the body. And it's so strong chills now that I'm sharing this with you, dear watcher. Ponder on that for a moment. Really ponder on that for a moment. And I hope with this information, you will be more skeptical about whatever arguments are used, about technology, know that your physical body can do it so much better, and also remain pure the way God intended us, the way God created us. And yeah, I don't say this lightly. Truly, dear watcher, take care of yourself. And with this, I will start wrapping up this video. I will soon record more videos for you, dear watcher. And yeah, please leave your comments. I'm really curious to know what you are learning with this material that I'm sharing in these videos. So bye for now, and I will see you in the next video.